What's up, Legion? Welcome back. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today it's going to be a game between MTW DIMAGA and Slayers Cella. So yes, a Protoss versus Zerg, Cella versus DIMAGA here on the map Ohana. Now let's begin up here in the upper left-hand spawn position with our blue Zerg player, MTW DIMAGA. DIMAGA was a semi-finalist at the Scan Invitational number 5. This was in May of 2012, and then in June of 2012, he took second place at the DreamHack Open Summer event. His opponent over here in the lower right-hand position is Slayers Cella, and I actually don't have much tournament information for you guys from him, but I do have a little bit of information nevertheless. He, in May of 2011, got promoted to the head coach of Team Slayers. Obviously, quite a position to hold. He's known as a very, very strong coach for StarCraft 2. Now, in 2012, he actually tried to qualify for the GSL Season 2 Code A, ended up losing, unfortunately, to an amateur player, but still, nevertheless, is a strong player. I mean, to be the head coach of Team Slayers, you got to be good. So, there you go, guys. And all of this information, of course, coming from the lovely team Liquid.net for your StarCraft 2 enthusiast who would like to figure out and find out where all this stuff's coming from. It is, in fact, there from their Liquipedia page, where I get all my StarCraft 2 information, because I don't know. I don't follow these guys on Twitter. That's a very generic statement for saying I don't really know much about these guys personally. So I get stuff from TL, and that's the place to go, teamliquid.net, for all your StarCraft 2 needs. Except for commentaries, you got to come here for that. Slayers Cella opening up with a Forge Fast Expand, places the Forge right over here, is also patrolling down at the natural of DIMAGA with this probe. This, of course, will be an attempt to delay his expansion. Now, we do have the spawning pool coming through, about 3/4 of the way done now. Of course, DIMAGA knows that this probe is still chilling out here, and just kind of moving around with Overlord as well, doing a whole bunch of fun positions. I mean, what the heck? There's not much else going on early game. Overlord Scout moves to the front of Cella's expansion now, and in doing so, spots the Forge Fast Expand that's coming. So now at least he knows that he might have to deal with cannons, although that seems unlikely at this point. Cella probably would have placed down a pylon by now if he was attempting to do that at the natural. So DIMAGA now going into 4 Lings and a Queen, and then immediately after that we will be seeing this expansion come down. You can actually see it's a bit over resources right now. And actually with this, I'm assuming he's just going to plan to take 2 right away. Yes, he is. There's that second drone as well. So there's the first one at the natural expansion. Drone now moving down also right over to this position. You can see that probe just died as the Zerglings were able to take it out, and he takes that quick 3rd base there. Big thing from here is going to be attempting to stop Cella from scouting that out right away, because a lot of times you'll see a Zealot sent out of this initial gateway to try to scout that out, especially since early on, without that metabolic boost, which is a result of this quick 3rd, you just can't afford to get that much Vespian that early on. You can see that first extractor now just coming through. And because of that, that Zealot usually has a good chance of scouting out the 3rd, because those unupgraded Zerglings aren't really the greatest at stopping that. So yes, we'll see if DIMAGA is able to stop that, or if Cella even attempts to do that. Now, we do have a Cybernex core coming through, and no Zealot building yet, so he may just go straight to a Stalker, or if he doesn't plan to push out, we might see him actually just go straight to a Sentry so that he can force field his ramp and just, you know, do that, basically. But obviously, Cella would be good for him to scout that out. He doesn't have a probe moving out or anything like that. We've got Xel'Naga control for DIMAGA here at this tower with that Zergling. And so he will see the second something pushes out. It's going to be a Stalker. And it looks like his first priority there is going to be to try to take out this Overlord here. And ooh, DIMAGA, you need to head out immediately. Alright, so now we go. The Overlord is now moving out, and he is going to take a few shots from that Stalker, but I think he might be okay here to make his way down over in this position. You know, Stalker taking a couple shots. Take a quick look at the vision here of both players. Continuous scouting. DIMAGA now actually going to be positioning an Overlord over here to use it, or maybe just right there even, just to use it for secondary scouting, sacrificial scouting later on, make his way up into the main, try to spot tech and production buildings and all stuff like that. Cella now coming out with a robotics, so yes, no scouting is going to be done by him. He's just chilling back here in his main with these 2 for now. But he will be using what we expect to be an observer first out of that robotics. Now, it's been a while since we looked at DIMAGA's base. What does he have going on? Well, not a whole lot. He's actually droning up very hard. You can see 9 drones coming out. Metabolic boost is coming through as well. at the moment just sitting on his 4 Zerglings, which should just be his initial 4 that we saw. I don't think there's been any loss for him, no. Only Cella's taken a loss in that probe. So yes, just droning up right now. It's got a couple of evolution chambers coming out. The metabolic boost is again almost done. We'll probably be seeing a few more extractors soon. In fact, speak of the devil, there's one right there. Going to expect at least one more to come out pretty soon here for DIMAGA. This will allow him to do things like get these upgrades pretty easily, tech up to a layer pretty easily, and then kind of go from there. We're going to see maybe Speedling, Baneling, Muta. Maybe we'll see Roaches start to come into play, although there is no Roach Warren yet. And here we go with 10 Zerglings coming out. Now back over here at 4 Cella. Let's see here. Where's his observer? There it is. First observer moving across the map right now. Besides that, well, he's about to finish Warp Gate research. Level 1 weapon upgrade coming through. And Sentries and Immortals he's got coming out. As well as there it is, those gateways. Massive, massive amounts of gateways. 5 gateways being built right there. Number 6 is right there. Observer Scout for Cella moving straight to the main. So still not scouting out that 3rd. We got Lings breaking down these rocks, providing for a quicker avenue here to the 3rd to protect it. Layer is now finally coming through, which will be scouted out by Cella as he moves up into the main. Spot that layer, just about halfway finished. You're gonna spot these evolution chambers, which are coming out with those 1/1 upgrades right now. And we got some movement right now. Zerglings moving across the map. Probe for Cella. Yeah, quickly taken care of. Zerglings take care of that. Cella now moves out, finishes the wall off, and here comes the push. You're gonna see a big push right now for Cella. Does he have another probe out here, though? I don't think he does. But we did see a War Prism. So instead of getting that pylon, he's going to try to use that War Prism there to get warp-ins on the front lines. Zerglings might attempt a counterattack, but again, he has to deal with these full wall off with the double pylons, and that cannon is going to take a couple shots as well. Plus, we could see a warp-in or two from Cella. Now, here comes the War Prism. That was scouted out by DIMAGA. DIMAGA's got no response to that besides Queens, though. As he is going Speedling, Baneling. I don't see a Spire. I don't believe, yeah. So, don't see any mutas, just Speedling, Baneling right now. And again, here comes the push from Cella. Now moving immediately to that 3rd. And let's see what DIMAGA can do. Speedlings and Banelings moving forward. You can see some force fields. There they are. Look at that force field wall protecting his units, allowing him to continue to engage with Speedlings and Banelings. DIMAGA probably should have pulled back with those a little bit sooner than he did. Took a few extra losses with Banelings and Speedlings as he continued to try to push against that force field wall. Now, we're going to see, actually Cella pin himself in the corner here, which is good because his sentries are getting low on energy, so this allows him to have to use less force fields as he surrounds himself with the terrain here and the mineral field, and he's going to stop mining right now. Gets at least another sentry, might have been 2 there, providing him more energy for some force fields. More and more Banelings coming through here for DIMAGA. Now DIMAGA has lost this base, he has lost all mining that was taking place there as well. Actually going to just sit here and pick off some of the larvae, get a few of those Lings, free kills there. Repositioning the War Prism a little bit closer here to this natural. And the Speedling's trying to push forward. Where's that War Prism going to go? He's going to pull back here. Cella just chilling out. Is he doing something else right now? What is he? Just waiting. He's just waiting. Getting himself some time to get this. Also transition right now into Robotics Bay, which will of course allow for Colossus. What the hell is up with that force field? Come the Banelings and managed to bust on 2 sentries there, so getting a couple kills. He's still got enough sentries though to lay down more and more force fields, and again we're seeing nothing but Speedlings and Banelings here from DIMAGA. He's not coming out with anything else. Transition to Colossus, here it comes. Thermal Lance plus that first Colossus coming through. Banelings trying to move forward. There are the force fields, stopping them from doing pretty much any damage. That Stalker still alive. Wow. He took Baneling fire plus a little bit of engagement from some Lings. And DIMAGA has no response right now. He's not countering or anything. He is just churning out Speedlings and Banelings trying to defend against this. He's just on 2 bases right now, which might not seem that bad because Cella's on 2 bases, but again, I instill you with a reminder that Zerg wants to be 1 base above a Protoss and or Terran opponent. They want to be 1 base above them. So being 2-2 gives a pretty fair advantage to the Protoss player. Now we do have 2 more hatcheries building, one over here and one up here. Once this finished, that will give DIMAGA a total of 4 bases. But we've got a War Prism loaded with Zealots now moving, and that's going to spot this. He's probably going to unload and start engaging that. I don't think he will take it out, though, because there are enough Speedlings here to quickly dispatch of that. And, yep, met by the Speedlings, he decides, heck no. Let's avoid this. Let's go up into the main, but there are Speedlings and Banelings to deal with that as well. Now, again, we do have this transition into Colossus. There are 2 in play already, with a 3rd one building. Also, another base coming out. Does the Zergling scout the Colossus? I don't think it did. I don't think he did. DIMAGA, I don't believe, knows about the Colossus. And as he continues to build Speedlings and Banelings, that is a problem. Now, we do have Vengeful Sacs coming out. And that is the carry. So maybe he did spot the Colossus because he's getting the carry and the speed for those Overlords. The reason that's worth noting is because you can drop Banelings on Colossus as an effective method of taking them out. That works. You don't just need to engage them directly, try to, get up on them with roaches or try to use corruptors. You don't need that. Dropping Banelings on top of Colossus does work. And it bypasses those force fields as well. That's kind of the idea behind it. But with all these Stalkers, that could be problematic. Now, we've got a Chrono Boost to Twilight Council, but nothing getting researched. I'm assuming he meant to click Blink and was trying to Chrono Boost that out. So hopefully Cella realizes that slight mistake there and remedies that. We got a War Prism continuing to move around, actually just scouting for now, and threatening to, transform and start to warp in units. Oh God, please don't have any more Chrono Boost on this. Yeah, nothing yet. Okay, good. More and more Colossus coming out. Looks like all those upgrades are finished now, so he will be able to drop Banelings on top of the force here of Cella. Again, it'll come down to, can those Stalkers take enough out? Can he micro back the Colossus? How is that all going to play out? Taking a quick look at both players' visions, nothing really going on. We got some forward scouting here for DIMAGA. We'll see once this push comes, and there it is. Here comes the push. 5 Colossus. Lots of Stalker, Sentries, and Zealots also in the mix. We got nothing but Speedlings and Banelings, but we have the ability to drop here for DIMAGA, and that's going to be the crucial thing. How effective is he with this? War Prism coming into effect again. Able to warp in units on the front line here. And we actually got Cella pushing in multiple directions. He's got a little bit of engagement going over here, as well as his main force over in that position. So he stopped mining over there with just a few units. And here it goes. Trying to drop. He's got a full surround with the Speedlings. Is it enough damage? Doesn't look like it is. Look at those force fields. Really cut back on a lot of the Speedlings able to get up. However, there are still enough Colossus and Stalkers and Zealots. And with 3 Colossus now, again, that drop wasn't as effective as he would have hoped. He's got a few Corruptors, 9 to 10 Corruptors. That's more than a few. He's got a ton of Corruptors coming out. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough or in time, and DIMAGA just calls the GG. All right, Legion, thanks so much for watching. Once again, this has been another StarCraft 2 commentary here between DIMAGA and Cella. Cella able to pull up the victory. Unfortunately for DIMAGA, this dropping didn't end up being effective. You can see he lost a bit of Overlords before he managed to even drop them. Really cutting back on the amount of Banelings that hit this main force. So there you go. Thanks again for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.